You open your eyes to the harsh glare of a broken sky. Dust coats your visor in a thick gray layer. Your armor feels heavy against your bruised skin. The internal display flickers red before settling on amber. You are alive. That is a good start. Sit up slowly. The ground beneath you is cold stone. It vibrates with a deep and rhythmic hum. You recognize that feeling. It is the heartbeat of a planet that refuses to die. Look up at the horizon. A fractured moon hangs there. It looks like a shattered dinner plate glued back together by a toddler. Debris floats in a lazy ring around it. You check your location data. The system returns an error. Of course it does. You stand and check your gear. Your rifle is low on charge. Your shield generator is whining. It sounds like an angry mosquito. You give it a firm tap. The whining stops. Technical support always works eventually. The air outside your suit is thin. Sensors detect traces of ozone and ancient fuel. You are in the Warden's sector. This was a battlefield once. Now it is a graveyard. A pulse ripples through the ground. It knocks you off balance for a moment. Steady yourself. That pulse came from the north. It feels like a beacon. Someone or something is calling out. You start walking. The terrain is rough and jagged. Obsidian shards crunch under your heavy boots. Every step echoes in the silence. You feel watched. Sensors pick up movement in the periphery. It is too small for a ship. It is too fast for a drone. Keep your hand near your holster. Paranoia keeps you breathing. The landscape changes as you advance. Ruins rise from the dust like skeletal fingers. They are made of dark metal. This is not human architecture. It belongs to the builders who came before. You reach a large archway. It is covered in glowing runes. They pulse in time with the ground. You step through the gate. The air pressure drops instantly. A voice fills your helmet. It is not audio. It comes from inside your head. The sensation is like ice water down your spine. Do not panic. These are the echoes of the Elder Ones. They speak in thoughts and memories. The language is old. It tastes like copper and regret. They are trying to tell you something. Focus on the sound. It is a command. They want you to go deeper. They promise power. Or maybe they promise an early grave. It is hard to tell the difference. You push the thought away. Focus on the mission. You need to find the source of that pulse. The ruins stretch out before you. They are vast and empty. Shadows stretch long across the path. You see shapes moving in the dark. They are just tricks of the light. Probably. You keep moving. The path leads to a massive canyon. A bridge spans the gap. It looks fragile. You test it with one foot. The metal holds. You step out over the abyss. Wind howls up from the depths. It tries to push you over the edge. Engage your magnetic boots. You stick to the bridge like a stubborn barnacle. Cross quickly. The structure groans under your weight. It is complaining about your diet. Ignore the noise. You reach the other side safely. The view here stops you cold. A fleet of ships drifts in the void beyond the cliff. They are massive. Their engines are dead. Their hulls are scarred by laser fire. This is the Silent Armada. Legends say they vanished centuries ago. Here they are. They are just parking violations now. You scan the nearest ship. It is a destroyer class. The markings are faded. You see the emblem of the United Systems. These were your people. Long ago. A light blinks on the command deck. Someone is home. Or something left the lights on. You need to investigate. There is no other way forward. You find an airlock on a crashed frigate nearby. The manual release is rusted shut. You grip the wheel. Your servos whine as you apply force. The metal screeches. It gives way with a loud pop. You pry the doors open. Darkness spills out. It smells like stale air and oil. Step inside. The corridor is dark. Your shoulder light cuts a beam through the gloom. Dust motes dance in the light. Silence hangs heavy here. You move toward the bridge. Debris litters the floor. Helmets and datapads are scattered everywhere. It looks like they left in a hurry. You reach the main console. It is dead. You pull a cable from your suit. Jack into the port. A spark jumps. The screen flickers to life. Data streams scroll past. It is a log from the captain. The final entry is audio only. You play it. Static fills your ears. Then, a voice. It speaks of a betrayal. They were ambushed. Not by the enemy, by their own command. The recording cuts off. The implications settle in. The history books were wrong. You feel a surge of anger. They were sacrificed. For what? You disconnect. The ship groans around you. It is shifting. The ground outside is moving again. The pulse is getting stronger. Leave the ship. You have what you need. The truth is a heavy burden, but you carry it well. You head back to the canyon edge. A massive gate stands in the distance. It is built into the mountain. The Void Gate. It was sealed to keep the darkness out. Now it is trembling. Cracks form on the surface. Purple light bleeds through. Something is knocking on the door, and it wants in. You approach the gate. The heat is intense. It radiates from the cracks. Your thermal sensors spike. You need to open it fully. There is a control panel on the side. It is smashed. You will have to do this the hard way. You grab the edge of the massive door. Engage maximum output. Your suit screams in protest. Muscles burn. The door inches open, just enough to squeeze through. You slip inside. The light is blinding. When your vision clears, you gasp. It is a factory, a massive industrial complex. This is the Forge of Titans. Huge machines hang from the ceiling. They are dormant, but the molten rivers below are flowing. You walk along the catwalk. The heat is oppressive. It feels like standing inside an oven. Your cooling systems kick into high gear. You need a weapon upgrade. Your standard rifle will not cut it. You scan the assembly lines. There, a prototype cannon sits on a rack. It is heavy. You lift it up. It hums with power. It feels right in your hands. A weapon for a Warden. You check the magazine. It is full. Plasma rounds. This will do some damage. You sling it over your shoulder. Movement below catches your eye. People are down there. Survivors. They are huddled near the heat vents. They look small against the machines. You descend the ladder. They see you coming. Fear flashes in their eyes. They raise makeshift weapons, pipes and wrenches. You raise your hands, palms open. You toggle your external speakers. You tell them you are not the enemy. They lower their guard slowly. A woman steps forward. She holds a child. Her face is covered in soot. She asks if the war is over. You tell her not yet, but the tide is turning. You offer them ration packs. They take them eagerly. It has been a long time since they ate. She points to the north. She says the light comes from there. It calls to them in their sleep. It promises safety. You nod. You know the place. It is the Starborn Core. You tell them to stay here. It is safer than the open. You leave the survivors. You have a job to do. You climb back up. The path leads deeper into the mountain. The air gets cleaner here. The hum gets louder. You can feel it in your teeth. You turn a corner. The chamber opens up. In the center sits the core. It is a sphere of pure energy. It pulses with a rhythm like a heart. It is beautiful and terrifying. Cables run from it into the walls. It is powering the whole sector. If this goes critical, we are all dust. You approach the control terminal. It is active. Someone has been here recently. Fresh fingerprints on the glass. You access the logs. They are trying to overload it. Someone wants to blow the moon. You have to stop the sequence. Your fingers fly across the keys. You bypass the security lock. The countdown pauses. You let out a breath. That was close. Voices echo in the hall. You are not alone. You duck behind a pillar. A group enters. They wear dark robes. It is the Council of Dusk. They are the ones who betrayed the fleet. They are arguing. They did not expect the countdown to stop. You listen. They talk of a purge. They want to wipe the slate clean. They think they are saving the galaxy. Typical villains. You step out. You level your new cannon. The argument stops. They look at you. Shock registers on their faces. You tell them the party is over. You demand they surrender. One of them laughs. It is a dry and brittle sound. He raises a hand. Shadows detach from the walls. Guard drones. They hover in the air. Their weapons lock onto you. You fire. The cannon roars. Blue light fills the room. A drone explodes. The fight is on. You move constantly. Cover is your friend. The drones are fast. But you are smarter. You lure them into a bottleneck. One by one, they fall. The council members retreat. They run toward the exit. You let them go. You need to secure the core. You lock down the terminal. The energy levels stabilize. The pulse slows down. It is safe for now. You run to the exit. You emerge onto a landing pad. The wind is fierce. Ships are taking off. Rogue pilots, riftwalkers. They are the council's escape plan. Their engines scream. They are trying to flee. You cannot let them escape. They know too much. You scan the area. An old turret sits on the edge. You sprint to it. Jump into the seat. It powers up. It is rusty but functional. Like a vintage car with guns. You track the lead ship. Lead your target. Fire. Tracers light up the sky. The ship takes a hit. Smoke trails from its engine. It banks hard. It is going down. The others scatter. They break formation. You have disrupted their escape. They are trapped here with you. Good. Now you can finish this. You climb out of the turret. A holographic interface flickers nearby. It is a terminal for the archives. You approach it. The screen is cracked. You tap the glass. The lattice of memory activates. Files open in the air. These are ancient strategies. Battle plans from the First War. You see the weakness of the enemy. It is a gap in their shield grid. You download the data to your suit. This is the key. Knowledge is the ultimate weapon, and you just loaded the magazine. The sky suddenly darkens. A storm is forming. Not a rainstorm, a nebula storm. Energy crackles in the clouds. Purple lightning strikes the ground. Gravity fluctuates. You feel light, then heavy. You have to move. You run toward the central spire. The storm tears at your armor. Debris flies past your head. Dodge a flying rock. You reach the shelter of the spire. The wind howls outside. You are safe for a moment. You check your ammo again. Inside the spire is an altar. It is simple stone. A sword rests on it. It is not made of metal. It is made of light. You approach it. You feel a pull. The Elder Ones are watching. This is a test. You place your hand on the hilt. Pain shoots up your arm. It is a binding oath. You swear to protect the weak, to stand when others fall, to be the wall against the dark. The pain fades. You lift the sword. It hums. You step back out. The storm is breaking. Enemy forces are converging. They are coming for the beacon. The siege of the Broken Suns begins. Dropships land in the valley. Soldiers pour out. They look like ants from here. You have the high ground. You have the cannon, and you have a sword made of angry light. Let them come. You open fire. Explosions rock the valley. You are a one-man army. You hold the line. They try to flank you. You anticipate the move. You cut off their path. The ancient strategies are working, but there are too many. Your shield is failing. You take a hit to the shoulder. It burns. You grit your teeth. You need to end this. You see the enemy commander. He's in a heady mech. He is leading the charge. He is the keystone. Remove him and they crumble. You check your energy levels. You have one shot. You charge the sword. It glows brighter. You sprint down the slope. The mech turns to face you. It fires rockets. You slide under them. You close the distance. You leap into the air. You bring the sword down. It slices through the mech's armor. Sparks fly. The machine collapses. The enemy stops. Their leader is down. Confusion spreads. They start to retreat. They run back to their ships. The sun begins to rise. It casts long shadows. The battle is won. The dawn's last ember glows on the horizon. You stand on the wreckage. You are tired. Your suit is damaged, but you are standing. The survivors emerge from the forge. They look up at you. They cheer. It is a ragged sound, but it is full of hope. You look at the core. It is stable. The council is scattered. The sector is safe. This is the legacy of the Warden. You did what you had to do. You saved the Broken Suns. Your name will be whispered. In the halls of the great, and in the dark alleys, you are a legend now. You turn to the sunrise. Your work is done here, but the galaxy is big, and there is always another war. You shoulder your weapon. You start walking. The next adventure waits, and you hate being late. End of recording. Saving file. Transfer complete. System shutting down. Goodbye.